All right, this is sort of the last demo for putting the book together. I have my leaves here. Just for fun, I tried a sewn binding. I doubt you can even see it. It worked, but it was a disaster. There was a lot of swearing involved, so I'm not even going to show you how to do it. As a matter of fact, I don't think I did it right, but it's acceptable. You won't see it. So, but it doesn't make any difference as far as the binding or the attachment of the leaves in the book to the book cover. So you have to make sure that when you open the book that this first leaf on the left is blank and that there is a gutter fold where it attaches to the cover page. You don't want it folded that way. If your folds are backwards so that it's this way, then just reverse the folds so that the this first blank page covers up your cover page, and the same thing with the last page and the last image. It's just a matter of reversing the accordion if you got it backwards, but try not to get it backwards. So what I need to do is first glue one of these pages, the blank pages, to the cover of the book very carefully and neatly, and then I need to glue the second one. This is the trickiest part of the operation by far, so you have to be careful how you do it. I'm going to turn the camera down and you can see the table. So this is my last page. You can start with the first page or the last page. It really doesn't matter. What I want to do is take some scrap paper, this copier paper, whatever you got laying around, put it over the image and then fold the paper over it like that. Hopefully you can all see that. This is here to protect the other pages when you apply glue. And this is where things can go wrong very quickly. And this is also a time-sensitive part, so get yourself all set up when you do this. So just like I did with the cover, I'm going to apply a bunch of glue. I don't want it to ooze all over everything, especially over the spine edge of the book. And unlike putting this on the mat board, when you put it on this thin paper, the paper wants to warp and it gets soft. So be very careful how you handle the glue when you're doing this. I'm going to need a little more glue. Okay, so that has glue on it. Now, without much ado, I am going to lay this on the cover of my book. You can't see what I'm doing here. And I'm going to line up the fold with the edge of the spine. I got to do this quickly, I can't dither. So this is the edge of the spine and I'm lining up the fold with that, and then I'm very carefully, without wrinkles, get rid of those wrinkles, going to spread this out, and you'll notice that it covers this first page covers a bit of the edge of the fold over. And I'm not pushing down hard. I notice that there's a few places where I don't have enough glue, and you want to make sure, especially here at the edge of the spine, you want to have enough glue. It looks like I do there, but out, at this corner, I don't. So I'm very carefully and this is where I could really make a mess. I'm going to lift that up. I'm going to put my paper back under just for some protection. Put a little more glue. Please be patient with this. It will be better if you are patient. Although I have to do it in 15 minutes or I run out of video time. So, all right. So that did that. So that is attached. Okay? And you can see that. Now, just again, for safety's sake, I'm going to put a little piece of paper here in case there's any glue on this surface that might stick. I'm just going to put that there to protect my print. Now this page gets glued to the cover, but if you just fold it over like this, you're not getting it in the correct position. You need to pull it over so that the fold lines up with the other side of the spine, with the edge of the cover. Because I sewed this, it's going to be even harder to do, but I can, in my case, put the glue on here and then fold it shut and it'll work. But for you, it'll be much easier because you didn't sew it, which I regret to this moment. So you can pull it over and easily get it to line up on the other side. Okay, so same procedure as before. I'm going to stick this piece of paper under here. And now, not only am I potentially getting glue on the leaves of my book, but I'm also potentially getting glue where I don't want it on the cover of my book. So I am going to be very careful. And again, it looks like I'm being a kindergartner with the glue, but it's actually quite a thin, going to be quite a thin layer when it's done. And I want to get right up to the spine so that it's fully attached, and then spread it out. Hopefully I'll get enough so that I don't have to re-glue like I did on the back. Like I said, you can start on either the front or the back, it doesn't matter. Whichever one you want to start with. A little bit extra glue here. I'm trying very hard not to get glue on the front of this piece of paper. So now, and I am just going to leave this in here. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Never mind. That's getting stuck. Careful, careful. Again, I'm going to use a little bit of clean protective piece. You can see, even for an old hand at doing things like this, it's dicey. And then I'm going to close my book, make sure my covers line up at the front. And I'm going to open it again, take this out, and carefully make sure that this is all pressed down. Again, if you don't have a bone folder, your wooden spoon will work if it's clean. Just anything, even another mat tab, one other than the one you use to apply the glue, will work. Mat tabs, by the way, can be made out of those cereal boxes. So that's glued in. My book closes, my book opens. I will put a piece of paper here while it dries, but now you can read my book. There's my title page, first page and second. or third, second and third, fourth and fifth, sixth and seventh, eighth, which is my final one, and then the other inside cover. It's best not to play with it too much like I'm doing at this stage, because the glue actually, although it's nicely stuck, it needs to dry. So take this, put it under that chemistry textbook that you had to buy and never read, or under something to keep it flat, but keep something in between your first page and the covers, just so that things don't stick. And if you want, you could even put wax paper in there or something like that, but something that keeps it from sticking. And you'll notice, if you look carefully, it's starting to warp a little bit. You see that simply because the board is wet now from the glue. So putting it under some weight now and getting it to dry flat is going to be very helpful. Of course, the other thing is you want to make sure all of your prints are dry before you're doing this. That's why the prints need to be printed and dry a week before the project is due, so that you've got that week to dry them out, or printed, so you got that week to dry them out and put the cover together and put the cover on. So that is the last one, and this will make for very quick reading at bedtime when it's done. Bye.